Welcome to waterproofing. The protection against moisture of the walls in contact with the ground deserves special caution in the design phase, since this kind of work units, to be buried, are virtually inaccessible to intervene in case of needing repairs later. Danosa offers the market the solution for waterproofing, drainage and protection of underground walls in building and civil works wall system. This is a comprehensive solution that complies with the new Technical Building Code (CTE) recently entered into force, which specifies the procedures to adopt with regard to the waterproofing, protection and drainage of underground walls to meet the HS1 protection against moisture. As in all waterproofing works, before applying the membrane we must take into account the conditions of the base and application for this kind of works. Prior to the waterproofing of the base, we should apply a bituminous primer which may be Curadan, Impredan 100 or Maxdan Caucho. The surface on which the primer will be applied should be smooth, dry, clean of dust, grease, etc., with the purpose to obtain a good adhesion and penetration of the product. The singular points must be equally prepared before starting the application of the membrane. Upstands, reinforcements, joints and other singular points with Banda de Refuerzo E30 PE Last. Estedan 30 PE Last must be upright applied. The adhesion of the membrane to the base must be made by torch. The overlaps must be welded and of minimum 8 cm longitudinal and transversely. For an easy installation, it is recommended to cut the rolls in small strips, more manageable. In the case of the Estedan 30 PE Last, self-adhesive or Self-Dan BTM, the rolls must be applied in an upright position. The adhesion to the base of the membrane is done by removing the lower face film and pressing at the same time from inside out to prevent the formation of pockets. The overlaps between rolls must be equally done and minimum 8 cm longitudinal and transversely. For drainage, membrane Danodren H15 Plus will be used. It is a high-density polyethylene nodular sheet, HDPE, thermally bounded to a non-woven polypropylene geotextile. Danosa is the first Spanish manufacturer to obtain the CE marking required by the Technical Building Code for the Danodren H15 Plus. Rolls of Danodren H Plus must be applied with the geotextile against the ground, placing the fixations every 50 cm in length and width of the membrane, overlapping in 10 or 12 cm horizontally and 20 cm vertically. To make the overlaps, the geotextile layer must be removed in one of the film that protects the face and paste them to the base. Thanks to its sharp edge, just with a mild pressure, the fixation will penetrate the Danodren. To reinforce the fixations, we will use a washer, and once it is placed, we will proceed to cover it with a protective hood. The drainage board must be mechanically fixed to the structure. To ensure that the drainage sheet spill-out is completely flat and compact behind the trench and to protect it fully from the entry of rainfall and general water runoffs, we must make sure it is secured with a strong metallic cross-section fixed firmly to the support. As the protection is extended using the laminated sheets, it's convenient to lay in the drainage tube Tubodan 160, which should be protected on both its upper sides with a layer of gravel. It should also be covered with geotextile Danofelt PY200, which acts as a filtering membrane. The need to protect buried walls of buildings in height against the action of the water, to be used as storage rooms or garages, which will be almost inaccessible to any maintenance work, makes necessary waterproofing, protection and drainage, i.e. primer plus Estedan 30 PE Last plus Danodren H+. When the requirement levels are less, one cannot use a welding torch unless one has specially qualified workmen. as probably could be the case in small family dwellings with a cellar or basement used for storage, garage or other purposes, i.e. primer plus Self-Dan BTM plus Danodren H+. In civil works, we can find requirements for minor compromise because underground works are not for residential purposes, such as underpasses in infrastructure of roads or railways, service galleries, domes, false tunnels, etc. Therefore, selecting the appropriate action can be done in response to the requirements of each case, and our minimum recommendation is Maxdan Caucho plus Danodren H15+. Walls in contact with the ground must be obligatory waterproofed, protected and drained as per the document DB-HS1, Protection from Moisture of the CTE. Therefore, Danosa gives the solution for walls adjusted to market needs. Make sure you don't miss it in your work.